That is Dan Carpenter. The Dolphins won the toss and have deferred. So the Patriots will get their hands on the football first today, Dan.
I think Tony Sparano saying he's more comfortable looking at his defense first.
Opening kick from the goal line. Brandon Tate, 15, 20, 25, and just short of the 30-yard line. Absolutely magnificent day here in Foxborough. Temperatures in the 60s, and we may even reach the low 70s here. Brady will start from the shotgun and spread the field. Here comes the blitz. Brady gets the short pass away across the 30. There is the rookie Sean Smith at one cornerback. A lot of youth as the handoff goes to Maroney. Maroney breaking free across the 40 and out to about the 43-yard line. That'll be enough for a first down.
Well, a lot of yards after contact. A lot of that is because the original contact was running in the back of his own guard, Logan Mankins, and bouncing off of him. And Mankins ended up making a nice block. And Maroney, I don't know if he had his eyes closed, but he did run right in the back of his own guy. But he made the most of it.
Line of scrimmage, the New England 43-yard line, first down. Two tight ends now. Brady, little pump fake, gonna go deep, down the middle of the field. Intercepted inside the 10-yard line by the rookie Vontae Davis. And Davis back across the 20-yard line. His second interception of the season, and it was a dandy.
Well, it's exactly what Tom Brady wanted. He got the one-on-one, no safety help. Randy Moss and a rookie all alone. He identifies it, goes right to it, but the ball is just a shade underthrown, but that is 99% Vontae Davis. Look at him out-elevate Randy Moss, who didn't really go up for the football. And that was just one-on-one advantage rookie.
So now Henne and the Wolverines, the Miami Dolphins. There are too many Michigan Wolverines on the field. The handoff is to Ronnie Brown.
There's a few in the booth, too.
Stacked up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the first play, 2nd and 10. Short drop, that one batted down at the line of scrimmage. It'll be 3rd and 10. Henne on 3rd down will throw. Throws near side. Camarillo with the diving catch, just short of the 35, but enough for a first down.
And it has been a New England problem in terms of getting sacks. They come with just the 4-man rush, and they don't get anywhere near Chad Henne, who has the ability to step up into the pocket and delivers a really nice pass. A little double move there by Camarillo, but that was a pinpoint throw from Chad Henne.
Out to the 34-yard line, first down Miami. And the pitch for Ronnie Brown, who will try the left side and get maybe a couple just across the 35-yard line. Waiting his turn, 2nd and 8. Straight ahead, Ronnie Brown. To about the 39, close to the 40. Ty Warren with the stop.
Well, the one thing positive for Miami so far is the way some of their young people are performing for head coach Tony Sparano. The rookie Vontae Davis comes up with an interception on their first series defensively, and Chad Henne faced a 3rd and 10 and converted it on the road in New England, something a young quarterback, that is a tough scenario.
Henne looking at a 3rd and 5 now. Brown, the single back behind him. Quick drop, quick pass. That one's complete to the tight end, Joey Hanos up the sideline. Lost the football out of bounds.
Well, Hanos split outside, so you know he's not a threat to run away from anybody at 6'8", 270 pounds. But this tackle has got to be made by Brandon Merriweather, and he doesn't even come close. Take a look. You know, this isn't a receiver that you got to worry about running away from you downfield, but Merriweather has got to make that hit. McGowan pokes the ball out with his left hand, but fortunately for Miami, out of bounds.
Miami now at the New England 39. Kenny, little pump fake, got hit as he released the football. Loose ball, Tully Banta-Cain knocked it away, and it's picked up by Adalys Thomas down the sideline for a touchdown.
Well, that is the call of the referee, Mike Carey, and he did not signal that it was an incomplete pass.
Tony Sperano already has the challenge flag in his hand.
Well, you know that. But that is the referee's call. You see Sperano, he asked Henne, do you think your hand was going forward? And there's no doubt about it.
And Tony Sperano just threw the challenge flag, landing at about the 18-yard line. Our referee today is Mike Carey.
We're going to have to see that football leaving Chad Henne's hand before the hand starts moving forward.
Did we not see Mike Carey?
The ruling on the field is a fumble for a touchdown. It's being challenged by Miami.
Did we not see Mike Carey in almost an identical situation?
Welcome back to Foxborough, everybody. No doubt that Banta-Cain hits Henne coming in from the left here before he throws it, but Henne appears to me to be strong enough to keep control of the football and move his arm forward. Now, Mike Carey has the only opinion that counts, but it looked to me that even though he was hit before he started the forward motion, he did execute a throwing motion with the football in his hand.
I agree with you, Dan, and it's eerily similar to what we saw with Mike Carey in a recent call, and he made the same call. He ruled it a fumble, then took a look at the replay, and then called it an incomplete pass.
And keep in mind that Mike Carey has to see enough evidence to reverse his own call conclusively. My guess is they're trying to figure out where to spot the football and give it back to Miami.
Still had control of the ball when his hand was going forward. Therefore, it's an incomplete pass. Miami will not be charged with a timeout. It's second down and 10 on the New England 39. Please put 10:32 on the game clock.
And I think Mike Carey saw that conclusive evidence that Chad Henne, showing a lot of strength, getting hit from behind, and Tully Banta-Cain, look, he's got his right arm draped over the right arm of Chad Henne, and Chad Henne, it wasn't much, but it was enough forward movement to constitute a forward pass.
It's amazing Chad Henne didn't lose the football behind him when he was first hit.
I couldn't agree more. So the first break of the game goes to Miami. That could have been 6 the other way, and they keep the ball.
Instead, it's second and 10 at the New England 39.
Three down.
Man in motion, the give is to Brown. Brown trying to find running room, breaks it to the outside. And out of bounds at about the 35, run out by Lee Bodden, the 7-year veteran cornerback.
Well, good job that time by Ronnie Brown of staying alive. You got to set the edge on a defense. You see Donald Thomas coming around the corner right there. The Patriots didn't keep a hard edge on the outside, and Ronnie Brown, while he didn't make it a big play, ground out a couple solid yards.
So now the Dolphins, who are 2 for 2 on third down, looking at 3rd and 6. Quick pass to the near side. Devon Best trying to break a tackle. Can't break free enough. He's down at the 34-yard line. Darius Butler, the rookie cornerback, making the tackle.
Well, Devon Best, such a dangerous runner in the open field. This is actually a smart play. Get him the football. What you can't do as a defensive back is just sit back there and wait for him to come to you. You have to be the attacker, and that's exactly what Butler did on that play.
Now Dan Carpenter, who has a long this year of 48 yards, will try this one from 52. On its way, straight enough, and enough leg to put Miami on top by a 3-0 score. Back in Foxborough, 3-0 Miami, 9:34 to play in the first quarter. And Dan, you and I were just discussing the fact that everything that could possibly have gone well for Tony Sperano thus far has.
He defers, lets his defense get started first. He has a rookie who makes an interception to Tom Brady, and then they score off the turnover. Awfully good start.
Squib kick is picked off short by Dan Connolly, an offensive lineman, and he returns it back across the 35-yard line. The New England Patriots down 3 as Tom Brady goes back to work trying to forget not just about this interception, but a couple that he threw last time out too. Maroney dancing up a little across the 40 to about the 42-yard line.
But still, Tom Brady, still 3-1 touchdowns to INTs, but INTs have been dominating lately.
Brady throwing near side, complete and out of bounds to Randy Moss across midfield and out at the 47-yard line of the Miami Dolphins. That interception was only the Patriots' 7th turnover of this season.
Now, offensively, they have obviously the last couple of weeks. Now, granted, that was against Tennessee and Tampa Bay, but you know, when you put 59 one outing and then 35 on the other, it's you can pad your stats a little bit against those two.
Dan Connolly been added to the offensive line for New England here on first down. Maroney running room left side, breaks inside the 40 to about the 37-yard line.
Well, if they say defense starts up the middle, missing your nose tackle and your best inside linebacker, not ideal for Miami.
On 2nd and 1, Brady with time, throwing far side of the field. Oh, what a catch made down there by Randy Moss.
Well, aren't these two taking turns on each other? That's Vontae Davis, who made a sensational play to intercept Tom Brady, and now Randy Moss goes, I can do this, and I've been doing it longer. Watch, reaching with the right hand, snatch that football and bring it in. Now it looks, that was extraordinary by Randy Moss. He moves into 8th position on the all-time yardage list, and that's one to remember.
1st and goal. Maroney, the deep back. Maroney with the handoff, right side, touchdown.
I'll say this about that touchdown, that pass from Moss. Vontae Davis has nothing to feel bad about. He again had really good tight coverage on Randy Moss. He just makes an extraordinary play, and then this was outstanding blocking on the right side. Lawrence Maroney, and this is not a dominating running game for the Patriots, but a really easy run into the end zone, untouched by a Dolphin.
3 straight games with a rushing touchdown, his 3rd rushing touchdown of the season. Steven Gostkowski, the extra point is good. Welcome back to Foxborough. Randy Moss making the big catch for New England. And there's Ted Ginn. Well, I don't think what he's done lately has escaped Bill Belichick's notice. 100-yard kick return and 101 yards against the Jets.
Here's the way the coaches and players watch it from the end zone.
Ginn, 3 yards deep. Gets a block, 15, 20, 25, 30, and run out of bounds at about the 35-yard line. Another fine return. First down, Miami at their own 33-yard line. Seven, 3, New England. The give is to Luke Polite up the middle. Ricky Williams in the backfield, play fake to him. Henning on the move, throwing over the middle, and that's incomplete. At the 45-yard line, Devon Best couldn't hold on.
That is Lee Bodden, the New England corner, who's down on the ground being looked after by the Patriots training staff. We'll find out how he's doing when we come back. There's Lee Bodden. He's okay. He actually gets hit by his own guy. Watch coming in from the left. There's Brandon McGowan, who puts a shoulder. Misses Devon Bess and lowers it onto his own teammate, but he's okay. Looks like Bodden's getting ready to come back in.
3rd and 8. Kenny with time, throwing and complete. Close to midfield to Devon Bess. That'll be enough for a first down.
Well, when we talked to Devon Bess and asked him about the arm strength of Chad Henne versus Pennington, he goes, well, I can tell you, when the ball has to get there and Henne throws it, it gets there. And there's a good illustration there of a deep out that is a laser, a real dart to Devon Bess. Chad Henne has a big, strong cannon of an arm.
Ricky Williams in the backfield now, first down Miami. We come up on 5.5 to play in the first quarter. Kenny throwing far side, has his man, that's the tight end Fasano, and run out of bounds for another first down.
And right here, Miami, who's primarily a running team, and you think, you know, Ricky Williams, Ronnie Brown, Wildcat, all this and all that, finding success early throwing the football. They're going against their own tendencies.
Miami has 70 yards passing through the air and 11 yards rushing.
Keep in mind, they only average about 152 yards a game passing, so they're going against their own tendencies, and Henne's got to take a timeout.
.5:03 to play in the first. Tom Brady taking a breather. Chad Henne calling signals with Ricky Williams in the backfield. And Henne to throw.
Well, we got a zag when he was expecting a zig. That's simple. But again, I like the way that Dan Henning is calling the plays here for Miami. He's going outside the box, putting the ball in Chad Henne's hands and letting him throw a lot more than usual. And until New England puts some pressure on Henne and disrupts him in the pocket, I don't know why I changed.
Wildcat offense now. On the direct snap to Ricky Williams. He trips going around the left side and is brought down at about the 32.
Well, Tony Sperano told us that the Wildcat with him is all by feel. If it's not going so well, they're not afraid to go away from it. And this is a pretty rotten beginning to it, when your prize running back just catches his left toe on the artificial surface here and goes down. 1.7 yards an attempt the last couple of games. That's woeful.
Now Henne on 3rd and 13. Under pressure, and he goes down at the 45-yard line. Pat Chung.
Well, you knew that Chad Henne had been entirely too comfortable in the Miami pocket, and Bill Belichick and Dean Pease, his coordinator, are going to change that. They've come in through both A-gaps, and you can't block everybody. Pat Chung untouched, unaccounted for, and Chad Henne, you know what? I like his decision-making. Rather than do something silly with the football, take the sack and punt the ball.
Brandon Fields going to kick it away and try to put the Patriots in a hole. Fair catch called for and made by Welker inside the 10-yard line. Well, sacks were an issue for Chad Henne last time out.
Well, he would get outside the pocket and then not throw the football away. He's got to do a better job of that. But in that situation right there, Greg, I don't think there's any. He didn't have a choice. When you come through the A-gap, which is right between the guard and center, and it's a defensive back with that kind of speed, you've got a nanosecond to do something with it. And a lot of times, in a nanosecond, you make the wrong call.
Tony Sperano was saying that he likes the direction that Henne's decision-making is going.
He'd like it to be quicker, but find me a young quarterback where their coach wouldn't like it to be quicker.
First down, New England. Brady at his own 9. Quick pass, near side, Kevin Falk, 10, Still on his feet, fighting his way. Appears enough for the first down. Let's see where the ball is spotted.
It's Paul Soliai, the nose tackle, a little slow getting up. Nice play there with Falk getting a tackle out. Watch Sebastian Vollmer here, number 76. Look how quickly he gets out there. There's Randy Moss with a block. Vollmer gets out there and lowers it on Sean Smith. I'm sure Sean Smith is going, hey, wait a minute, I didn't sign up for this duty. That guy's 6'8", 320 pounds. That's
how high is Bill Belichick on Sebastian Vollmer's future?
They like him a lot.
They give us to Maroney, and Maroney out to about the 23-yard line. Brady, all kinds of time, throws over the middle, and that's complete about the 40-yard line to Ben Watson.
Now, Benjamin Watson has had a couple good blocks in the running game, this time with Tom Brady having all sorts of time, even though Jeremiah Bell is right there and puts a good hard hit on Watson. Can't do much about that when Brady has that much time in the pocket.
So Brady and company move out to their own 40-yard line now, first down. Brady's barking out instructions, takes the snap, and that was batted down by number 53, Reggie Torbor. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Torbor starting today because Channing Crowder, the really talented inside linebacker of the Dolphins, didn't even make the trip with a shoulder injury, missing his 2nd game in a row. And those are big shoes to fill for Torbor. And that's a nice way to get noticed.
As we noted at the top of the day, Dan, both of these teams missing some pretty key personnel.
Yeah, the Patriots missing a lot of people, especially considering coming off a bye week where you got a chance to get people healthy.
On 2nd and 10, Maloney gets the call and out across the 45 to about the 46-yard line, where Randy Starks makes the stop for Miami.
I think both offensive lines in this football game have been challenged by their head coaches to do a better job. Certainly the New England offensive line, Bill Belichick wants them to hold on to their blocks a little longer, be a little more dominating in the running game. Tony Sperano has really challenged his guys on the other side. He thinks their play has been substandard.
3rd and 4. Brady, quick pass, far side, complete. Randy Moss, first down. Out of bounds, just across midfield.
Well, Vontae Davis just a little irritated with himself, but how do you not give Randy Moss a little cushion? Which means, look at how perfectly the ball, that is impossible to defend. You can't give Moss the respect he's due because of his speed. You can't give him that and defend a 3-yard out that's thrown that well. It's impossible. Not the greatest corner in the world could defend that pass.
Brady, play fake. Pump fake, and then going deep. Incomplete in the end zone. Lost the intended receiver, Chris Clemens, and Vontae Davis again, and Davis slow to get up.
And he is not getting up. Well, it's been single coverage that Brady has identified. This time Davis has safety help over the top as Clemens comes on over. And it was Clemens that really gets in there and makes this difficult. But again, Davis did a nice job elevating. Look how well he times his leap. He gets his hands up there with Randy Moss's. But unfortunately, he's not able to protect himself a great deal as he comes down and lands hard on the turf. I like the timing with which Vontae Davis goes up after the football. But Tom, that time, that's how much faith he has in Randy Moss, Greg, that he was willing to throw into double coverage. He knew that safety was coming over. We still went for it.
We had a delightful conversation with Vontae Davis last night. He says, you know, being up here is a reality check for me. I'm playing against guys that I grew up watching.
Well, keep in mind that the Dolphins' best cover corner, Will Allen, has been lost for the year. He tore an ACL in the New Orleans game. And so Vontae Davis has been thrown right into it. Sean Smith was already starting over on the other side. How bright a future does this Dolphins secondary have with two outstanding players like that on the corner, and then they got a rising young safety in Clemens who was in on that last play with Moss.
The
so,
5th round draft pick.
Yeah.
Vontae Davis, his 2nd interception of the season here today. His first one, he returned 23 yards for a touchdown against Buffalo.
a lot of upside there.
Jason Allen has come on to replace Davis in the secondary.
Right here now.
Brady to throw on 2nd and 10 over the middle, and that is complete to Benjamin Watson inside the 45 to the 42. And it'll be 3rd and about 3.
So hard to defend this New England offense when you spread the field and you've got a quarterback so adept at identifying the open guy. And Benjamin Watson took a tough hit and held on to it. Again, good job by the guys up front. A good pocket, and Nate Jones with a solid hit, but still a completion.
We're in the last 20 seconds of the first quarter. Brady gets rid of the ball, and that one is behind Kevin Falk, the intended receiver.
Well, we know that Joey Porter had a lot to say before this game about Tom Brady and his natural hatred of the Patriots. Here he is working against Sebastian Vollmer, and Vollmer is in good position, and we have yet to call Joey Porter's name.
I think Joey has a lot to say before every game.
Well, that he does, but not often as pointed as he was before this one.
Chris Hansen to kick it away. Devon Best is deep. Fair catch called for and made at the 10-yard line as time expires here in the first quarter. From deep in their own territory, Chad Henne throwing, and that's incomplete off the hands of Devon Best. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Greg, that last drive by the Patriots, while it didn't result in any points, had a lot to do with field position in this game. Remember, they started at their own 9-yard line. And at the end of that drive, they're forcing Miami to start all the way back really deep in their own territory. So that's one of those things that on the play-by-play, nobody pays a lot of attention to, but it had a lot to do with field position.
Henne on 2nd and 10. The give is to Ronnie Brown, and Brown trying to circle the right side, and the penalty marker's down.
We had a flag in this game yet?
I just said penalty marker down.
No, I'm just saying this is the first one, isn't it? I know you just said it. That's why I said it.
Here's Mike Carey.
Holding offense number 80 is declined. 3rd down.
The penalty on Anthony Fasano turned down by New England. And it's going to be 3rd down. You know, you started this day, Dan, by saying Miami has to run some more, but they have precious few yards on the ground so far today.
Well, they have gone to the air. They have gone against their own tendencies, which is sometimes a smart thing to do. But this is a running football team. It's what they do best.
12 rushing yards to be exact. 3rd and 6. Henne on the move, looking, threw it away.
Well, that's exactly what the Patriots were looking for after moving the ball, pinning Miami deep, and then getting a 3-and-out. That's exactly the way Bill saw it happening. Yep, he's congratulating his guys.
That's Wes Welker back near his own 40-yard line for the upcoming kick.
And this guy's no slouch returning punts either.
He's going to take this one at about his own 34-yard line. And gets buried at about the 39. Number 21 in the center of your screen is the rookie Vontae Davis. You'll recall he was helped off the field. We are told he has suffered a quad injury and his return is questionable. Meanwhile, there's 4th-year corner Jason Allen in at cornerback to replace him. as the Patriots start from their own 39. Brady down the sideline, and he's incomplete. Intended for Brandon Tate.
Well, Brandon Tate has got to give Tom Brady a little more field to work with than running right down 1 foot into the field to play. Jason Allen gets a jam on him, but you've got to get a little farther away from the sideline. Give your quarterback a little more room to drop it over your outside shoulder. Tom ends up on the ground, but that was nothing to write home about. No big deal there.
On 2nd and 10, Maroney gets the call, and Maroney goes nowhere as he is stacked up at the 35-yard line. 3rd and 11. Here comes the blitz. Got rid of it. Welker, midfield, first down across the 50-yard line to the 49.
Yeah, he's still Tom Brady. What the really good quarterbacks do is make you pay for the blitz. Jabril Wilson is coming right up the middle, and Tom Brady, even though he can't step into it, having to dance backwards, still never takes his eyes off from downfield, goes through his reads, and find Wes Welker making the adjustment.
Welker's first catch of the day for a first down, and here's his second catch of the day, and he's run out of bounds inside the 40 at about the Miami 36.
Well, and Greg, I want to tell you one thing. Jason Allen, who was the #1 draft pick back in '06, this guy is more suited to be a safety than a corner, and everyone in New England knows that. And if Vontae Davis is going to be out of this game for a while, Jason Allen might as well have a bullseye drawn on his jersey, because they are going to come after him.
Brady on first down, gets time, throws, and that's complete inside the 25 to about the 23-yard line. And Sam Aiken on the receiving end. That's another first down.
Again, Tom Brady. Look at Tom hiding the ball back there, keeping it on his hip. Good job by his offensive line. And, man, a nice, tight little spiral. And a good job by Aiken of covering up the football. That was textbook, knowing they're going to come after him.
Here's Maroney. He's wrapped up by Reggie Torgor. I thought it was interesting. You know, Tom is always says things in a subtle way, and he says, offensively, we're in a better place now than we were in the first part of the season.
And he means he's in a better place for sure. And I'm sure he got tired of all the questions about, and I don't know what people expected. I don't know how you thought he was going to take the field on opening day, how anybody could, and thought he wasn't going to show some effects of missing an entire season and having a knee that was completely reconstructed. But the National Football League is a better place when you've got the Mannings and the Bradys and these guys back playing the game.
From the shotgun on 2nd and 9, Brady throwing. That's Welker inside the 15 to about the 11. And they move the chains once again. It's a first down.
There is speed, and then there is quickness. Wes Welker is quickness personified. That is so hard to do. Maybe it doesn't look that hard, but I can tell you right now that Sean Smith thought it was hard. Watching Wes Welker change direction, do a reverse spin, come back in, and lock in on the football. Think there's a little timing involved there between quarterback and receiver on a route like that?
Those numbers for Welker, 3 catches for 36 yards, have all come on this drive. Brady going to throw to the near side, and that one is complete and run out of bounds short of the 5-yard line to Aiken.
Tom Brady is an equal opportunity passer. If you are an eligible player for the New England Patriots, you are going to have the football come your direction during the course of the game. Man, does he spread it around.
2 on the ground, 6 through the air, 54 yards so far.
Hey,
brought.
Buckle up.
Well, they've had to throw the ball because the 2 on the ground went absolutely nowhere.
fakes it, throws, incomplete. Intended for Moss, and Jason Allen batted that one away.
That is a place on the field where you don't often see a pump fake. When you're in the red zone like this, there's just not a lot of field to work with. See, Allen gives the inside release to Moss because he knows he's got Jabril Wilson inside the safety help. That's the proper technique by Allen, and that was a good job coming in over the back shoulder by Allen and knocking it away.
Now it's 3rd and 6. Patriots can get a first down without getting a touchdown. Brady going to throw for him with time. Now running out of time, and he goes down at the 13, courtesy of Randy Starks.
Well, if they gave the award for Defensive Lineman of the Year so far for the Dolphins, Randy Starks would get all the votes. This is just keeping at it. He's been working hard. He stays with it. He ends up getting run by Brady, but then he hustles, swipes once, swipes twice, and finally brings him down.
That's only the 9th sack of Tom Brady this season, and Gostowski will get this one away from about 30 yards out. Placement is good. The kick is on its way, and it is good. Little look at Hall at Patriot Place. Robert Kraft, the owner of the New England Patriots, envisioned a little area where people can get together, come and see the Patriots Hall of Fame. There's a movie theater complex. The CBS scene, nice place. Ted Ginn Jr. set for the kick. And this one will not be returned as Gostowski kicked it out of the end zone. Ronnie Brown looking for the direct snap. Keeps it, and it goes nowhere. It was interesting talking to a couple of the defenders for the New England Patriots about the first time they had to deal with this last year. Vince Wilfork said, we were all over the place.
And they were. They said when it originally happened, look out. And I think Pat White's coming in the game. Is Pat White out there?
Yep.
Yep, there we go.
The backup quarterback who has thrown one pass this season.
And that was in their opener.
Mark.
White gonna keep it, has running room. 30, 35, 40, and look at him go. Breaking across midfield down to the Patriot 45-yard line.
Well, that got things going. Now keep in mind that, this really isn't the Wildcat. Pat White is their second quarterback, but he can run, as we all know from watching him at West Virginia. And boy, does he get good blocking out in front. He really isn't challenged until he's a good 15 yards downfield. That was just an extremely well executed option play to the left by the Dolphins.
Until that run, Pat White had 4 carries for 2 yards on the season. Straight ahead to about the 40.
Greg mentioned that Pat White has only thrown the ball one time. He overthrew a wide open receiver in their opening day loss against the Falcons.
Williams in motion. Ricky Williams with the handoff, turning the corner. First down yardage and then some. Out of bounds inside the 30. Gerard Mayo making this tackle.
Now, the one thing that Dan Henning, the offensive coordinator of Miami, can do, and we're seeing it here, he can throw so many different looks at a defense. You see Chad Henne run back out onto the field, so you assume that they're going to go to a conventional offense. Oh, contraire. Henne splits out at receiver. They run the Wildcat out of their base personnel.
Remember, we asked Chad Henne, flanked as a receiver, do you think you'll get thrown to? He said, I don't know. He said, have you been thrown to in practice? He said, no.
No, I wouldn't be looking for that.
Henne with the snap, straight drop, looking, throws over everybody, and a penalty marker is thrown. Greg Camarillo, the nearest receiver, Lee Bodden defending. And it's going to go against New England.
Pass interference. Defense number 23. From the spot of the foul, automatic. First down.
Well, Bill Belichick's defensive backs, ever since he's been in the NFL, aren't afraid of a little bumping and jostling. They are as aggressive as any set in the league. At that time, Lee Bodden just totally interfered with Camarillo's attempt to run the route. That's why there was such a huge misfire with Henne.
And now Henne to the sideline and Pat White back onto the field. And you get the feeling Dan Henning is in a play-calling groove right now. White going to pitch it to Ricky Williams. Inside the 10, inside the 5, to the end zone.
Well, that was a beautifully called and beautifully executed drive by the Miami Dolphins. And Dan Henning, their offensive coordinator, gets major kudos. Well, we saw him run the option to the left where he kept it and broke it for big yardage. He comes back with the option to the right, and he pitches to Ricky Williams, and that appeared to be a confused and befuddled New England defense.
Ricky Williams' 6th rushing touchdown on the season. Extra point is up and good. Welcome back to Foxborough. 80-yard drive in 5 plays, culminated by Ricky Williams' touchdown run, and that slumbering ground game that we talked about that Miami had in the first 3 drives. Just 12 yards on the ground, 66 on the ground this last drive. Here's Brandon Tate. Outside, 25, 30, 35, and run out of bounds just short of the 40-yard line by Nate Jones. Brady gives to Maroney. Maroney wrapped up by Tony McDaniel, 4th-year D lineman out of Tennessee.
Well, New England just can't get much of anything going on the ground. Lawrence Maroney a lot of times is either stopped right at the line of scrimmage or actually ends up being a negative play with a loss of 1 or 2. They've got 37 yards rushing in this game, all by Maroney.
Then Jarvis Green Ellis now in the backfield. A quick pass to the far side to Kevin Falk. And Falk with running room across midfield. And that's a New England first down to the Miami 47.
A lot of whistles blowing. We've got a player down at the field, down about the 41. That's Dan Copen, the Patriots center.
Cope in the middle of that New England offensive line in his 7th year out of Boston College, and he's up.
And I think you got an indication of what Copen's worth is to this team when you saw Bill Belichick on his way out to see what's going on. You can see him, he's awful careful in putting his weight on that right leg.
Keep in mind, Matt Light is already out of this game with a knee injury, and Dan Connolly, number 63, replaces him.
Connolly plays a lot in short yardage situations, either as a tight end or as fullback. Awfully thin now on the Patriots front.
Welker in motion, Brady to throw. Going to throw this one complete inside the 30 to the tight end Watson. First down to the 25.
Boy, when Tom Brady needs a big play, how often does he find Ben Watson? Of course, it helps that Watson has such great speed and such a wonderful feel out in open spaces. And once again, Ben Watson comes up with a big play that moves the chain. And how's that for consistently spreading the football around to your entire offense? 4 players with 3 receptions.
23-yard pickup on that last play. First down, New England at the Miami 25. Brady to throw again. Coming across the middle is Falk. Penalty marker flies as Falk works his way inside the 10.
The marker was thrown by the line judge here on the near side of the field. Tom Brady pleading his case.
Pass interference. Offense, number 84. 10-yard penalty, still first down.
So that call goes against Watson.
Geez, even though Tom Brady didn't like it, they still threw the penalty on the Patriots. Joey Porter, he's going to be flummoxed at this.
You are an instigator.
Well, that hurt. That hurt because New England was on a roll. They had the Dolphins defensively on their heels a little, and that setback, first and 20, a little tougher to convert.
Line of scrimmage now the 35, and we get timeout call. Timeout with 3:45 to play, and New England burns its first timeout here in the first half.
You haven't been wearing number 55's number out, calling him today. Joey Porter hasn't been a huge factor to this point.
No, but I imagine coming into the game he is a point of interest for the New England Patriots.
I think so. He got them all going, and there is a level of frustration, I think, among all defensive players in the NFL, that they're just, you want to play the game at a high level, you want to run fast, you want to hit hard, and yet you can only hit in a certain area, and you got to time it just perfectly, and you got to hit with the shoulder. You can't hit with the hat against a moving target. I understand all that, but to imply that one player just looks at an official and gets a flag just by looking at him, that's a little over the top.
First and 21.
I got it down left.
Brady going to roll to his left and throw incomplete. Joey Porter applying some pressure on Mr. Brady.
Well, in this highly sophisticated New England passing attack, that was a clunker. That wasn't a good-looking play from the very beginning. Tom Brady rolling to his left, and I believe just as he released that ball, it looked like Joey Porter got his left hand on Brady's elbow. But still, he didn't have an open receiver anywhere. That play didn't look good from the snap.
Second and 21. Run it with Kevin Falk right up the middle. 30, 25, inside the 25 to about the 24.
Well, there's a run that, if it comes to a field goal, Gostkowski's awfully happy with that. Nice move by Kevin Falk of realizing the hole in the defense was back over right guard. He was over left guard and made about that little nice 6-foot shift to the right, that little jump cut, and away he went.
11-yard pickup makes it a 3rd and 10 now for Brady. He needs the 15-yard line for a first down. Falk again. And he's going to come up about 5 yards shy of a first down. And we get a timeout called, this time called by Miami.
And that's a good call by the Dolphins. Go ahead and try to save yourself as much time when you're going to get the ball after this field goal attempt.
Now Gostkowski will try one from 38 yards out. He was good earlier from 30. Kick is on the way and looks pretty good. 2:45 to play here in the first half, and the Patriots go back on top. It is a 13-10 lead.
Now, the only thing missing, what's missing in this whole scenario involving Mr. White?
The pass.
The pass. That's exactly right. And I suspect we will see him put it in the air before this stage.
Gostkowski trying to keep it away from the danger of Ted Ginn, and he will do just that with a long kick that goes through the end zone for the touchdown. We have a penalty marker way back up here.
Well, that can only be one thing. If it's all the way back at the 30-yard line.
Mike Carey indicates offside. New England on the kickoff.
Offside on the kicking team, number 56. Miami is elected to have the kick redone at the 25-yard line.
I can tell you there is no way to be more of an unpopular guy than to make your entire team cover another kickoff because you were offsides. That is where 10 sets of eyes are drilling holes in you as they line up, sucking air, getting ready to do it again.
And what the Miami Dolphins get out of this is a chance for Ted Ginn to run it back. So unless Mr. Gostkowski gets a sudden jet stream, Ted Ginn should be able to return this one.
Mike Carey, by the way, identified a number that doesn't exist on the New England roster.
Oh, what a kick by Steven Gostkowski. He'll get lots of kudos from his sideline.
Man, deservedly so, and Randy Moss, the first guy there. That's how you neutralize a big-time return guy.
So even with the penalty, Miami has to start from its own 20-yard line, and we have 2:45 to play here in the first half. So let's see what Chad Henne can do. Miami with one timeout remaining. Quick drop on the slant. That is complete. Hartline makes the catch and is hit hard at about the 37-yard line, but he holds on.
Man, Brandon McGowan, number 30. Boy, did he lower at that time on Hartline. But they found a nice hole in that New England zone.
The rookie from Ohio State held on. And we get a whistle.
It looks like the Patriots called a timeout.
So New England has one timeout remaining now as well. Let's take another look.
Again, now Chad Henne looked at safety. You saw him look down the middle of the field, and then he came back to Hartline. That was a good job of Chad Henne not locking in on Hartline from the beginning. And you're right. What a good job of holding on to the football after a big-time hit by the safety. You would expect a number like that with a very young quarterback. Kind of something just not right, though, about a Michigan quarterback throwing it to an Ohio State receiver. It's the world is a little out of balance when stuff like that happens.
I felt your pain. On first down, Ronnie Brown buried at the 35-yard line. Tully Banta Kane. And that looks like it'll take us up to the 2-minute warning. Greg Gumbel, Dan Deerdorf back in Foxborough, each team with a timeout remaining. 2 minutes to play. And Miami with the ball at their own 36-yard line, looking at a 2nd and 12, and Pat White is back in quarterback. Ronnie Brown in the backfield with him. Play clock down to 4 to 3, and the snap is off. White to throw, far side of the field, and the field overthrows everyone as he hit the deck.
Well, you knew inevitably that he had to come back and throw the ball. The best pass rusher for the Patriots is Tully Banta Kane, and he is in there to apply pressure. Derek Burgess gets there a little bit later on the other side, but Tully Banta Kane has had a pretty doggone good first half.
So Chad Henne back in at quarterback on 3rd and 12, and the fans come alive for the first time in a long time. Henne steps up on the move, underthrows his receiver Devon Bess,
who was covered very well. And again, the old quarterback adage that any drive that ends with a kick is not that bad of a drive. We'll see if their defense can keep New England from tacking on a few points. The Patriots only have one timeout left.
Wes Welker deep for the kick. And a pretty good one from Brandon Field. Their catch made at the 13-yard line with 1:43 to play in the first half, and here comes Brady with 1:43 on the clock and one timeout to work with. Numbers on the day.
See, nobody's got a touchdown pass. Brady has one interception. The New England passing game hasn't gotten a lot going. And as we showed you just a little bit ago, a lot of Patriots have caught the football. 4 of them have 3. Tom Brady has been very effective in spreading the field.
Here's New England now, which has posted 3 scores in its last 4 drives, starting from their own 13-yard line. Brady fakes one way, comes this way to Kevin Falk, and Falk following the block, across the 20 and out to about the 21-yard line.
Well, when you see both backs in the backfield like that, you think max protection initially, but it was an attempt to set up a pretty elaborate screen.
Brady over the middle. Incomplete, intended for Aiken, and a penalty marker flies. Vontae Davis back into the lineup. Was in on that play.
Pass interference. Defense, number 21. Spotted a foul.
And is guilty of the interference call. Let's take a look.
Well, again, he's going to try to gauge where he's going, and you can see he didn't get any contact on Aiken at the line. He didn't get a jam, and then he was into him way before the football got there. That's a pretty easy call.
Brady throwing this one, sliding catch made at the 43-yard line by Welker.
And a nice throw by Brady, who's having his right leg pulled out from under him because of a good pass rush.
9-yard pickup, 2nd and 1. He's back at it in a hurry. Brady. Pump fake going far side of the field, incomplete, intended for Moss.
Corners are hard to come by, and to find 2 rookies with the poise, the maturity that these 2 have, it's a rare find for Miami.
3rd and 1. Let's see if Brady goes for the ground game for first down. He'll throw for it. Crossing pattern. Welker. First down inside the 45.
Wonder how many crossing patterns Wes Welker has run in his life. This guy lives underneath. Randy Moss, of course, clears everything deep. And Wes Welker, he does 2 things. He runs crossing patterns, and he gets hit hard after he makes the catch, and he holds on to the football.
Welker, 5 catches for 59 yards on the day. And Steven Gostkowski getting loose.
If ever there was a blue-collar, lunch-pail definition of a receiver, it would be Wes Welker.
Whom these Miami Dolphins know well.
Yes. He played for Miami. They traded him to the Patriots in 07 for a 2nd-round pick. Of course, he originally was a San Diego Charger.
New England out of timeouts now. 44 seconds to play. Brady pulls it down a couple of times and then overthrows, and there's a penalty marker flying again.
They might get Vontae Davis again.
Aiken, the intended receiver. Davis and Tyrone Culver.
Pass interference. Defense, number 29.
This penalty call is on Culver.
First down.
Well, there's Vontae Davis again. Now he goes to the ground. Oh, that's the hit. No question about that. That's actually Jabril Wilson. Well, take it back. That was Culver. I looked like 28. It was 29. Culver gets a that you just can't put a shoulder into a guy that far downfield.
Brady going to throw the short one incomplete. That one intended for Aikman, in and out of his hands. That'll stop the clock with 34 seconds to play.
Say one thing, these Miami defensive backs are flying to the football. They may have gotten flagged here a couple of times, but that is not appearing to curb their aggressiveness in trying to blanket these Patriots receivers.
I really thought you were going to say it didn't appear to curb their enthusiasm.
No, I'm not.
Brady going to throw this one sideline. Welker out of bounds. First down at the 12-yard line. 30 seconds to play.
Again, Wes Welker runs such beautiful patterns. Just look at the quickness, look under control, the head fake to the outside, and you couple that with an absolutely perfect pass.
73 yards for Welker, all I believe here in the second quarter. Brady steps up, throws far side, caught at the end zone. No, incomplete. Ben Jarvis, Green, Ellis.
A really unusual pattern going to a running back. He initially gets the ball, he gets both feet down, but when he lands on the ground in this situation, you got to retain possession. And out it comes.
And you know, Tom Brady looked like he made up his mind to throw at the very last second in that direction, because he sure wasn't facing that way. 2nd and 10. Pulls it down and he goes down. Cameron Wake, number 91. Clock continues to move.
And Jason Taylor was the first guy there coming around the corner. He made Brady pull it down.
Brady throwing for Moss, incomplete. And 1 second remains on the clock.
Wow.
Tony Sperano is not happy.
No, I thought at that snap that there was no way that New England could execute that play in the 5 seconds that were on there. I understand why Tony Sperano's a little frustrated. I think he thought, man, this has worked out perfectly. They're not going to have time to try a field goal.
Tony Sperano is looking at a little home cooking here, in his opinion. This one from 34 yards out. Gostkowski, as time expires in the first half, and it is just inside the upright. That's the end of the first half. Stephen Gostkowski has done a heck of a job kicking it long. Not this time, though. Ginn from the 7. 25. And a burst of speed gets him up to the 35-yard line. Kyle Arrington makes the stop as we take a look at some first half numbers, Dan.
Well, no surprise there that a lopsided advantage to New England in the passing game. 17 first downs. It has really been a productive half for New England offensively, but again, a pretty productive half for the Dolphins as well. 156 total yards. That puts them right about on their season average.
Ricky Williams starts the second half in the backfield.
Stop, man.
Penny will throw sideline. That is complete at the 40-yard line to Devon Bess.
Thing to keep in mind, Miami starts with the ball here in the second half because they won the coin toss at the beginning and deferred and elected to kick off to the Patriots. Vontae Davis intercepted Tom Brady on that first possession, and then Miami scored on their first possession to take a 3-0 lead. So that part of winning the toss and deferring worked out really well, and now they get the ball in the second half.
Back to the Wildcat offense, and Ricky Williams with the direct snap and straight ahead. Comes up about a yard shy of a first down.
So the Dolphins can throw 4 distinctly different looks at you. One of them involves Chad Henne playing a conventional quarterback. The other involves Ronnie Brown taking the snap. The other involves Ricky Williams taking the snap. And now we're seeing a little bit more Pat White, the second quarterback, going in there and running a different style of offense because of his ability to run the option and run the football himself.
Now on 3rd and 1, it's Williams and Liu Polite in the backfield. And he gives to Polite, and Polite for a first down to the 47-yard line. Coming into this game, Polite was 6 for 6 on 3rd or 4th and 1 attempts.
Well, good job there, banging it off the left side, going in behind Jake Long and Justin Smiley.
And now Pat White back in at quarterback.
Well, this certainly gets everyone on the New England defense talking. It requires an awful lot of coordination offensively for Miami. Chad Henne does a lot of running in and out of the game.
White going to keep it. And not much there.
Well, that didn't look like such a high. That involved Jake Long and Smiley, the left guard, pulling to the right. And then Pat White running back behind where they vacate. That's not the way that play was drawn up. You don't send your blockers one way and then go off by yourself another. I suspect that was a blown play all the way.
2nd and 9. Henne throws sideline. That's Devon Best, about a yard short of a first down.
Well, good job by Lee Bodden of his coverage because he didn't give Best a chance to turn back upfield and move the sticks. Devon Best does a nice job of coming back to the ball, although he didn't stem this route deep enough. But Bodden didn't give him any forward progress after making the catch.
So it's another 3rd and short yardage for Miami. Henne the quarterback, Polite and Williams in the backfield. The pitch for Williams. Looks to be short.
Nice adjustment there by New England, moving Wilfork off the nose. They put him out at defensive end across from Jake Long. And Big Vince is going to cover a little ground getting out towards the sideline.
And no punter on the field for Miami here.
Yeah, see him, they kind of let him go. Jake Long just gives him a shoulder, lets him go, but look at Big Vince get out there and get in on it.
So 4th and short yardage for the Dolphins. And Ronnie Brown is into the backfield for the first time here in the second half. Polite, another first down.
And another good surge by the Dolphins offensive line, and the old offensive line coach, who's now the head coach, Tony Sperano, fired up. Good surge here by the Miami offense. Look at their pad level. They're below the guys in blue. And that was a pretty easy conversion. Used to play on the offensive line, was an offensive line coach. And those guys rewarded his faith in going for it on 4th down.
Now the Dolphins at the Patriots 42. Here's Ronnie Brown. Brown dodging inside the 40 to about the 35.
They just are pesky, aren't they? Bill Belichick has got to be going, I just don't like playing Miami. It just won't go away. And let's be realistic. The Dolphins have a lot of confidence when it's New England week because of the success that they have had. Granted, the Patriots have been winning Super Bowls and the Dolphins have not, but they got confidence.
Wildcat offense again, Henne to the top of the screen, and keeping the ball is Ronnie Brown, looking for running room to about the 32. And very close to a first down.
And that looked like a play that was going nowhere, and because of two things, the Dolphins offensive linemen holding their blocks and Ronnie Brown being patient, he got awfully close.
How about that half of New England's divisional losses? under Bill Belichick against Miami. 3rd and 1.
Can't always just be a perfect world out there, can it?
Kenny on the move, throws, complete, 25, 20, and out of bounds is Greg Camarillo. Both Chad Henne and Tony Sperano like when Henne throws on the move.
He's very effective throwing on the move, and this shows a lot of confidence in a young quarterback on the road in a short yardage situation like that, putting the ball in his hands and letting him make a play. And you're right, Tony Sperano uses the words very accurate, not just accurate, very accurate, describing Henne's ability to throw on the move.
Henne on the sideline, Pat White in the backfield. On the option, gonna keep it and go nowhere. Adalys Thomas stalled that one.
Well, you hear that phrase, setting the edge, and that's what the Patriots did that time. They set the edge, didn't allow Pat White to get outside. This time it's Adalys Thomas who does a good job of getting there, and then you see McGowan, number 30, he turns it all back in. That was disciplined defense by New England.
White still in the game. Henne still on the sideline, 2nd and 12. 12th play of this drive. White going to keep it right up the middle. And ducks inside the 15-yard line.
Pat White is not the biggest of guys, and man, did he take a shot going right up in between the tackles. That's not Ronnie Brown, folks. That's a guy who's 6 feet, maybe 190 pounds.
You know, we referenced it earlier, Dan, and it bears repeating. These guys, the Patriots, were embarrassed by the Wildcat a year ago.
Well, Pat White got a little bit of that there. Brandon Merriweather laid one on him.
3rd and 5. And Henne back under center. Rolling left side, got it inside the 5 to Camarillo. It'll be 1st and goal.
All right, Camarillo's locked up over here on the other side. He's got Lee Bodden. Lee Bodden looking into the backfield the whole way, but Chad Henne back shoulders Camarillo. And by the time Bodden can react to it, too late. Again, that's one of those deals when Chad Henne puts a little juice on the football, it gets there in a hurry.
64 yards in just under 8 minutes. That's how far the Dolphins have come. Wildcat offense. The direct snap, Ronnie Brown going to run left with blocking and can't get to the end zone. Brandon McGowan came up from the safety spot.
I did everything but give them a touchdown when he was loping out there with that football. Jake Long was out in front. He's got Polite out in front. Take a look at this. You don't even see a guy in a blue jersey. And then up comes McGowan. What a play. Look at that. He gets past Long, and then Lou Polite just misses him altogether. What a play for the Patriots and McGowan.
Wildcat offense again on 2nd and goal. Brown spinning, looking for the end zone. He doesn't find it. Gerard Mayo in the middle of that.
And Brandon Merriweather was the first guy in there. He came knifing across the line and forced Ronnie Brown to make an adjustment in his own backfield. Watch 31. He comes right up in the middle there. He gets a shoulder. Ronnie Brown spins around. Byron Pryor, the rookie defensive lineman, he's in on the action. He gets a shoulder in there. They're going to go for it, Greg. On 3rd down, why not? Almost lost my head there for a minute.
3rd and goal from the half-yard line. 16th play of the drive on the Wildcat. Ronnie Brown going to keep it and throw for the touchdown. Joey Canos, the tight end.
Just like he did here a year ago, Ronnie Brown throws for a touchdown out of the Wildcat. So hard to defend. He fakes it to Ricky Williams, and then again just totally lost by the Patriots defense is Janos. You can see they're talking about it. What a drive by Miami.
Carpenter's kick is good.
This telecast is copyrighted by the NFL for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or of any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the NFL's consent is prohibited.
I'd say if you're taking on the New England Patriots, the first rule of thumb would be don't let Tom Brady get his hands on the football. Look at that, 10:09 time of possession here in the second half.
Brady's been on the sideline so long he needs a shave. That is most impressive.
This will be Terrence Wheatley, and he will not run it out of the end zone. As you look at the AFC East standings in New England, we said at the top of the day, Miami trying to pull them back to the rest of the pack.
Keep in mind, Miami with that 3-4 record, all 3 of their wins have been in the division. 2 of them over the Jets.
Lawrence Maroney trying to jumpstart the Patriot offense, moves it out to about the 25-yard line. This New England team has allowed just 7 points in its last 2 games. Miami has put up 17 so far today.
Now, having said that, Miami stiffer competition than either Tennessee or Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay still winless on the season. Tennessee with only 1.
Brady to throw on 2nd and 5. He throws the short one over the middle to Welker, complete. 3rd and 1 for Brady and the Patriots. And Brady will throw forward over the middle. Got Randy Moss, and he could be off to the races. Randy Moss inside the 25 to the 10. Touchdown, New England. 71 yards.
What a stiff arm by Randy Moss. Doing his best Jim Brown impersonation after making this catch. Nice little fake up the field, coming across the field. Vontae Davis in a trail position, and Randy Moss puts it right on his face mask, holds his balance afterwards, and then with that kind of separation, nobody's going to catch Randy Moss.
And with a 22-17 lead here, the Patriots will go for 2.
Trying to get to 19, where a field goal. Trying to get up here where they could go up by a full touchdown. 24-17. A 6-point lead, not all that desirable.
Brady throwing, got it. Randy Moss. Well, the Miami Dolphins engineered a 10-minute, 9-second drive. It didn't take the Patriots nearly that long to go in the other direction, did it?
1 minute and 36 seconds. And Miami got 7 points out of their drive, and the Patriots got 8.
Now Ted Ginn Jr. going to try to find some of that magic he had against the New York Jets. This kick will be taken on the run at about the 12. Spinning at the 25, forward to about the 26. Brandon Merriweather with the stop. NFL celebrating Veterans Day and members of the armed forces here. Wildcat offense to start things off for Miami. Ronnie Brown starts Ricky Williams in motion. He's going to look for a receiver on the run, and that is incomplete. Janos couldn't hold on at the 35.
The Patriots are trying to counter the Miami Wildcat and their running game by going to like a 4-4 defense. They got 4 defensive linemen. They got 4 linebackers in an umbrella behind them. And then they're even creeping one of the safeties up closer to the line.
Kenny now, the quarterback on 2nd and 10. Straight drop. Incomplete. Intended for Bess. Lee Bodden came close to picking it off.
Well, Lee Bodden looked like he was inside Devon Bess's jersey. Talk about tight coverage. Look at this by Lee Bodden getting out there, getting in front of the ball. And Devon Bess did a good job of actually breaking up what would have been an interception. Nice work by Lee Bodden.
3rd and 10. Miami 7 out of 12 on 3rd down today.
Here they come.
Big blitz. Pass over the middle. Intercepted. Penalty marker is down. Lee Bodden bringing it back and out of bounds at about the 25. A couple of markers are down. Tony Sperano is convinced this should go against the Patriots.
Well, Chad Henne got drilled. The question is, did he get drilled illegally?
Here's Mike
There are
Carey.
2 fouls, both of them on the defense. Illegal hands to the face, number 23 is declined. Roughing the passer, number 53, leading with the helmet, 15 yards, automatic. First down.
Take a look and see what happened here to Chad Henne.
Well, Derek Burgess is who this is called on.
Oof.
Oh, that wasn't Burgess, though. It's somebody starts with a 2. Whoa, as he puts the crown of his helmet. That's Pat Chung. And he puts the crown of his helmet right onto the chin of Chad Henne. And that will get you an envelope from the NFL. And 2 penalties on the defense negate that interception.
First down, Miami at their own 41. Ricky Williams. Nothing there.
Well, the ball came squirting out. Was there a whistle?
We have an official with his hand in the air. So that ball was whistled dead. And it'll be no gain, and it'll be about 2nd and 10.
It's worth noting that either one of those 2 penalties against the Patriots would have given the ball back to Miami. So, but Pat Chung, that was a pretty violent hit right into the chops of Chad Henne.
Kenny under pressure throws, and that is a diving catch made by Joey Janos short of the 50-yard line. Tully Banta came with the pressure, and then rolling on the ground now is Gerard Mayo.
Oh, and New England Nation is taking a collective deep breath. The best defensive player for the Patriots, Gerard Mayo.
The injured Patriot Gerard Mayo able to walk off the field under his own power. He's on the sideline.
He looks okay. I think he just got the wind knocked out of him.
3rd and 3. Henne. Oh, what a catch by Devon Bess. And Henne drilled it past a potential interceptor.
Now that was Sean Springs who went flying right across in front of the ball. Again, look at that high velocity pass, and it just grazes the top of Sean Springs' forearm as he goes for the INT.
And now Pat White onto the field at quarterback.
Seems like every time Chad Henne moves the sticks with a good throw, he gets the hook.
First down from New England's 46. Direct snap to White, and White straight up the middle, inside the 45 to the 44.
Well, now Chad Henne's coming back out onto the field, but again, New England can't assume that he's going under center. He could come out and you think, well, here comes conventional offense, and then all of a sudden it's either Ricky Williams or Ronnie Brown taking the snap.
There's nothing very conventional about this offense, is there?
And that's what we're seeing right here.
Brown and Lex Hilliard is in the lineup now in the Wildcat offense. Flank to the near side of the field. Double reverse, and Chad Henne can't go anywhere. Adalis Thomas was sitting there waiting for him. That just wasn't very pretty from the get-go. Greg Gumbel and Dan Deerdorf here at Foxborough as we begin the fourth quarter. Miami was 5 of 6 on third down in the third quarter. They're looking at a 3rd and 19 here. And Henne just threw that one into the dirt. And Miami will kick it away.
Well, when you set up a screen to Devon Bess and Adalis Thomas is standing right beside him, his only option.
Wes Welker standing between his own 5 and 10 yard line. Wobbling kick and takes a Miami bounce. Brady from the 12 gives to Lawrence Maroney, and Maroney pulling his way across the 15 to about the 17 yard line. New England has run the ball 13 times today, thrown it 33 times. Brady on 2nd and 5, going to give it to Maroney again, and Maroney out across the 20, close to a first down, but not quite.
Timeout. New England, their first.
A 1 minute and 30-second drive countering a 10-minute drive.
Here's Maroney on the ground, and Maroney out across the 30. No 40-plus yard plays in the first 5 games for these Patriots.
Now the competition wasn't the best in those two. I'll tell you something that just happened that's pretty unusual for New England. They just ran the ball, what, 4 consecutive times? This is hardly a 3 yards and a cloud of dust offense.
And on 2nd and 4, make it 5 straight times. Maroney around the left side to about the 34. And Sean Smith coming up from the corner.
Boy, Lawrence Maroney has shown some toughness here at the beginning of the fourth quarter. When the moment of impact is there, he has lowered his shoulder and he has powered forward for a couple extra tough yards on a couple different runs.
Had his injury issues. Now in his 4th season out of Minnesota, he's had trouble staying healthy for a full season.
Well, he hasn't had a full season. He's missed parts of all 3 of his previous ones.
That's Ben Jarvis, Green, Ellis straight ahead.
Boy, and they are showing this is totally out of their mold. We got a flag down.
It's all the way on this side of the field. Mike Carey once again.
Illegal substitution. Defense 12 men on the field is declined. Play results, first down.
Well, in today's NFL, with all the different packages and people coming and going off the sidelines, that's a penalty that you never used to see, and now you see it with some regularity. Kind of discouraging, though, on defense to have 12 guys and still give up a first down.
Lawrence Maroney going to take it again. And this time, the Dolphins stop it at the 40-yard line.
Well, Joey Porter made a lot of headlines this week with talking about how much he dislikes the Patriots and Tom Brady in particular getting calls, and the stat sheet is there. So number 55.
But you know, most everyone we talked to just kind of shrugged it off.
Oh, that's Joey being Joey. The guy has passion. You know something? There are too many guys that don't have passion. Joey's got more than his fair share.
Hey, look at this. Brady's going to throw. On the move. Finally got rid of it before he goes down. It's incomplete.
Well, I give a lot of credit to the Dolphins and their back seven, because they only came after Tom with a couple of guys, and they blanketed and shut down everybody downfield. That's Paul Pasqualoni, their defensive coordinator, now in his second year. He was the linebacker coach in Dallas. Another guy that Bill Parcells brought along with him.
Now here's a big 3rd and 10. Brady over the middle, Randy Moss, and Moss is wrapped up by Vontae Davis before he can reach the first down marker. And that'll bring the punting unit on, and that's 27 career 300-yard games for Tom Brady.
Passes Drew Bledsoe to move into that spot. Of course, 300-yard games in today's NFL a lot easier to come by than they were back, say, in the day when Johnny Unitas and those guys played. A 300-yard game was, wow, it got you a big write-up in the paper.
Devon Best standing back at his own 10-yard line. Hansen. And the fair catch is called for and made by Best at about the 17-yard line. Nothing like wearing your helmet to the game. First down, Miami. In their own 17. Let's see what Dan Henning has up his play calling sleeve for this drive. Here's Ronnie Brown. And Brown dances across the 20 to about the 22-yard line. Miami has not been huge in the fourth quarter. They've been outscored 79-58. Trailing by a touchdown. Henning, quick pass, this side, complete to Ricky Williams. And Williams battles his way out to the 29-yard line.
And he's tackled there by Gerard Mayo. Good news for New England. He's okay and back out on the field. You know, he missed 3 games earlier this year with an MCL tear. He originally thought he was going to be out 6 to 8 weeks.
Pretty proud he came back sooner than they thought he would.
Well, that is something to be proud of. That's part of playing in the National Football League, healing faster than you're supposed to.
Big 3rd and 3 now for Henning and the Dolphins. Gonna run for it with Ronnie Brown. Has a first down and more. Across the 40, out to the 41-yard line and a first down.
Again, hammering away at the left side of the Miami offense, coming in behind Jake Long. Gets a good block there on the edge. You can see Fasano gets a down block on Vince Wilfork. And Ronnie Brown, this guy has such nice feel in the running game. He's not a frantic guy. He doesn't beat his blockers. He really allows the crease to open before he tries to exploit it.
Fasano in motion. The give is to Ricky Williams. And Williams nudges it across the 45 to the 46.
Again, with Jarvis Green out, Vince Wilfork is having to play a little defensive end, and he's used to being double teamed. He kind of gets rolled over there. Fasano comes in and puts a shoulder pad right in the ribs.
He was telling us 3 things you need to play for Bill Belichick. Good technique, be tough, be smart.
And be double teamed if you're number 75 on almost every play.
Second and 5, Henny to throw. Far side of the field, and that is complete to Ted Ginn. Across midfield into New England territory, and it's a first down for Miami. Clock continues to move, coming up on 6:50 to play here in the fourth.
And Ted Ginn's role as a wide receiver has been greatly diminished in Miami. The criticism has been huge, but on this drive, they're showing a little confidence in Ginn, letting him play. That's him to the top.
Play action, and Henne throws that one at the feet of Devon Bess. It'll be 2nd and 10. Tony Sperano told us that he'll go to Chad Henne, and Chad Henne will give him his 7 or 8 favorite plays that he's most comfortable with on any particular week.
And that's just smart coaching. Give Dan Henning in a pressure situation. If you feel good about it as the offensive coordinator, and then you look at that list, and there's Dan Henning, and you realize that it's something your quarterback feels good about, let's be realistic. There's a much higher percentage of it working.
Brown straight up the middle to about the 41. That's a pickup of 6, and it'll be 3rd and 4.
This is where, when you lean on somebody the entire game, it just really starts to wear on you. And this Miami running attack is so physical. So you see Will Forks having to come out of the game. They can really exploit you a little bit later in the fourth quarter because some guys just wear out.
Patriot fans to their feet on 3rd and 4. Henne throws incomplete. Ginn, the intended receiver, covered by Lee Bodden.
And the Patriots gave that blitz away. That was a rare break there for the Dolphins, getting a look at it early. They mistimed it a little bit, and I think everyone in Miami knew exactly what was coming, and yet they still couldn't convert.
Second straight punt for Miami. Brandon Fields will try to pin the Patriots down. Welker, fair catch called for and made at his own 8-yard line. So now the Miami Dolphins will try to make a stand here. Let's see if Lawrence Maroney gets a lot of work. Play fake. And the pass is complete to Moss. Moss across the 25 before he is wrapped up by Jeremiah Bell and Sean Smith.
That's a good look by the Patriots because they bring in a backup offensive lineman, Mark LaVore, go with a big heavy look like they're going to run it for sure on 1st down. And then Randy Moss, look at see, there you go with the big heavy look. That fake got everybody. And Randy Moss, as usual, very physical at the line of scrimmage, getting away, using his own hands to get away from Vontae Davis.
Randy Moss, 147 yards today. Welker for 77. And Ben Watson for 47. Here's Maroney. And Maroney wrapped up from behind by Randy Starks, who has played a heck of a game, and the loose ball forward across the 35.
That was a heck of a run by Lawrence Maroney, never touching the ground. He rolled right over the top of Starks, I believe.
Brady, this side, complete to Wes Welker. Let's go back to that play.
And Lawrence Maroney, who's been running really hard and tough here in the fourth quarter. Right there, we couldn't see anything touch the ground. Now, I couldn't see his one knee on the far side at the very beginning, but talk about staying alive as a running back. He gave the effort, he stayed alive, and the officials gave him the call.
First down, Patriots at their own 42. Maroney again. Maroney across the 45 to the 47. We are under 4 minutes to play, and Miami burns a timeout. Wes Welker, number 83, the former Miami Dolphin, now an integral part of this New England offense. 2nd and 6. Brady looks this way, throws. Watson wrapped up short of the 50-yard line by Jeremiah Bell. And once again, timeout call by Miami.
Well, Tony Sparano electing to burn his timeouts early, and I think that's a pretty smart move.
This has been a relatively turnover-free game.
Yeah, we've only got the one, and that was Vontae Davis intercepting Tom Brady in the first quarter.
And these Patriots have forced at least one turnover in each of their last 15 games. They don't have one now so far. Miami needs one to get the ball back.
Miami in this game has been effective running the ball, but the passing game, and Chad Henne's hoping for a chance to improve on those numbers, but they've only got 139 yards so far in this game through the air. That's awfully low by NFL standards.
On third down, pass out here to Welker, and hit hard by number 21, Vontae Davis. And the Dolphins quickly call timeout. What a play by the rookie.
Well, I think he's supposed to be blocked by Sam Aiken. Sam Aiken, number 88, is going to come back, and when he just can't get back in there. Nick Hazard, the tackle, was out there. Yeah, you can see Aiken was he just was slow to respond, and again the aggressiveness of Vontae Davis. If you're going to make a mistake, make it going full speed. And I'm telling you what, there's so much to like with Davis and Sean Smith on the other side as well.
You mentioned it earlier, Dan, that secondary is a pretty good upside for the future for Miami.
Sure is.
Devon Best back at his own 10-yard line. Hansen got the kick away, and a good one too. Fair catch called for and made at about the 13 or 14-yard line. And here comes Chad Henne. Miami is out of timeouts, 3 minutes 38 seconds on the clock, and trailing by a touchdown. We were talking with Chad about how important Chad Pennington, the man he replaced in the backfield, has been to him, and he's been everything. He's been a teacher, he's been a mentor.
Well, Henne got to spend all of last year under the tutelage of Pennington, who was so gracious, so willing to share what he knows about the NFL. Well, this is a chance to put it to work.
Going to start it with Ronnie Brown, and Brown gets nowhere. Gerard Mayo making the play.
Well, being a middle linebacker is all about trying to pick your gap and when to shoot it. And Gerard Mayo shot the backside gap and had enough speed to get to Ronnie Brown.
Henne throws far side of the field. Penalty marker flies from deep in the secondary.
Well, it's Darius Butler tied up over there with Devon Best. And I don't think there's any question who this is going against.
Well, we have a couple of markers down.
There are two fouls, both on the defense. Illegal hands to the face. Number 29 is declined. Pass interference. Number 28 is declined. Play results. First down.
That's a heck of a job by Devon Best of somehow coming up with this football. All right, there he is working on Butler. And there's where the interference starts. But he somehow keeps juggling the ball and gains possession and drags his back foot. Either way, this is where the ball would have been spotted.
On the 32-yard line now. Henne steps up, throws behind Brown out of the backfield. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Well, Chad Henne that time had to throw it to the back shoulder of Brown. He just went too far back. Gerard Mayo was out there in coverage. He couldn't lead Ronnie Brown. He had to throw back shoulder, but he just misjudged it and trailed him a little too much.
Stops the clock with 3:05 to play. Pat White looking on. 2nd and 10. Now Ronnie Brown and Ricky Williams in the backfield. Kenny throwing over the middle, incomplete. Brian Hartline, the rookie, couldn't quite hold on.
It looked like Hartline had a chance to make this catch. And he throws it low. Hartline's going to have to go down and dig it out, but that's a ball you got to catch.
That's a pretty good throw.
Darn right it is. The coverage was pretty good by the Patriots. He threw it low, but certainly high enough where Hartline should have caught it.
3rd and 10.
The Patriots on a blitz.
And a timeout. He doesn't have a timeout.
He does not. They're telling him right now.
Delay game. Offense. Miami is out of timeouts.
Miami used all of their timeouts on the previous Patriots possession before they got the ball back. And Chad Henne wanted to use that timeout because he saw New England. They were giving a blitz look, an all-out blitz look.
And he was running short of time. 3rd and 15. And they look a little bit confused on offense. Henne throwing, sideline, incomplete.
Well, that time Lee Bodden had outstanding coverage on Devon Best. And that was pretty much of a throwaway by Chad Henne. Nowhere to go. Boy, Lee Bodden has been a nice pickup for the Patriots. 5 years in Cleveland, 1 in Detroit, and he's gotten it done for Bill Belichick.
4th and 15. Officials get Coach Belichick off the field. Henne over the middle, incomplete, off the hands of Ted Ginn. We'll take another look. That looked like it might have been another catchable ball.
Well, it looked like Ginn got both hands on it. Ted Ginn again trying to get away from Lee Bodden. Bodden knows he's got a little safety help back there. I think that's Merriweather sitting back there, and I think Ted Ginn well aware of it. And that is Brandon Merriweather, number 31. It wouldn't have been the easiest of catches, but it was most certainly catchable.
So the ball goes over to the Patriots on downs, and all they have to do now is run out the final 2 minutes and 50 seconds. Miami cannot stop the clock with timeouts.
Well, they'll get one stoppage at the 2-minute warning, so they can't just kneel on the ball. Miami would get it back.
Maroney stood up at the 25-yard line by Aiken Adel.
They're going to have to snap it before the 2-minute warning. Going to coming up on 2:30 here on the play clock, but on the game clock, but down to 23 on the play clock. So they're going to have to run a play. They better get a move on.
Brady gives to Maroney, and Maroney just ducks inside the 25. Back at Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, 2 minutes to play here in the 4th quarter, and Miami needing something of a miracle right now.
Chad Henne standing there talking to David Lee, his quarterback coach, hopeful that they'll get another chance.
No.
New England running up to the line of scrimmage to try to run a play. Mike Carey.
3rd and 7. And it'll be Maroney again. Right side. Gets a block. Ducks inside the 20 to about the 17-yard line. And really close to a first down. And a little pushing and shoving. A women's intercollegiate soccer game threatening to break out.
Very good, Greg.
Thank you so much.
That young lady got a lot of airtime around the country, didn't she?
All right, we're gonna go in. We're gonna go in.
And a suspension, I believe. All right, where exactly is this ball being spotted?
Somebody, bring me a football.
We're bringing out the chains here to take a look.
Ooh. That's short.
Mike Carey is saying about 2 inches for a New England first down. Bill Belichick now has a decision to make.
I think he'd much prefer to run it here rather than risk a blocked field goal attempt, don't you?
Well, you always like to think that you can execute a field goal, which would put you up by 10 points. It would effectively end the game. Gostkowski's going, I'd like a shot at it.
Well, he's not going to get one.
It doesn't look like it, does it? That is that's the bad thing that can happen on a field goal, is it can be blocked and run back the other way for a touchdown.
Tom Brady going to sit there and watch this clock wind down.
And then they'll take a timeout and they'll figure out what they want to do.
Tom will take a timeout in about 4 seconds.
Yeah. Stephen goes, I've still got a shot at this.
Call timeout. And New England uses its second timeout.
This is where, as a head coach, let's put it this way. If that was Peyton Manning and the Colts on the other side, you'd kick the field goal. You would not run the risk of giving them a chance to be able to just tie the game with a touchdown.
You saw Jason Taylor there on the sideline a moment ago. I'm sure more than just a few Miami fans wondering whether or not he'll be back next year. And he said if the situation is right, he'd love to be back in a Miami uniform.
Absolutely, he would. Now, you could also get Tom Brady up here to try to get the guys to jump off sides by going to a hard count. We saw already today Tom Brady moved the chains with a quarterback sneak.
Fourth and inches. And that'll back the Patriots up.
I think offense number 61. 5 yards to the 4th down.
Stephen Neal, the right guard, backs them up 5 yards on the illegal procedure, and now here comes the field goal unit.
Well, I don't think Neal was by himself. Looked to me like Mark LaVore over on the other side, the tight end. He might have flinched a little bit as well.
You know a quarterback is good with the call when you get your own guys.
It happens all the time. Tom Brady was so good on the hard count that he got a couple flinches on his own side.
Gostkowski good today from 30, 38, 34. This is from 40 yards out. Kick is on its way and looks really good.
You got to trust your kicking game to be able to execute a field goal.
That ties a career-high 4 field goals in one game for Stephen Gostkowski and puts the cap on this game, one would think, for the New England Patriots. You saw Tom Brady sitting there about ready to author his 20th straight home victory.
Well, right now, the key is to not allow Ted Ginn to do something silly if you're a New England Patriot. As in, like, run it back.
He will. Ginn from the 4 to the 20. Ooh. And some heavy hitting. Kyle Arrington making the stop. I want to remind you, Executive producer of the NFL on CBS is Sean McManus. Vice President of Production of CBS Sports is Harold Bryant. The producer of today's game, Mark Wolf. Today's game directed by Bob Fishman. Senior producer of CBS Sports in the NFL today is Eric Mann. And the director is Bob Matina. Coordinating producer of the NFL on CBS is Lance Barrow. The coordinating producer of CBS Sports is Steve Karasik. Our associate directors today, Ryan Galvin and Alana Campbell. Our broadcast associates, Brian Jagoda and Gareth Hughes, and our technical manager, Nick Brewer. Our technical director, Dennis Stone. Our audio supervisor, Kevin Little. And our stats provided by Joe Castellano and Andy Lepoznik. Our spotter is Michael Gluck. Welcome those of you just joining us here in Foxborough. 1:03 remaining. The New England Patriots, with a 40-yard field goal, have just extended their lead to 27-17 in a game that's a little closer than that score would indicate today.
And the Patriots just took a timeout because Pat White came out to play quarterback. New England took a timeout, and now Miami makes the substitution and brings Chad Henne back in. We have seen a pretty diverse offense today from the Dolphins, with Henne at quarterback, Ricky Williams in the shotgun, Ronnie Brown in the shotgun, Pat White playing quarterback, running the option both ways.
Miami is out of timeouts. And Ronnie Brown going to run it right up the middle across the 30 to the 32-yard line. We are in the final minute of play. And the New England Patriots about to go to 6-2 on the year, while Miami would fall to 3-5. Henne. That's across the 40, complete to Greg Camarillo. And that'll move the chains, but time is growing short for the Dolphins.
Greg, I think a long-term problem for Miami is just their inability to be explosive in the passing game. In this NFL, if you can't be explosive throwing the football, it's going to catch up with you.
Ronnie Brown looking for the sideline, and he runs out of bounds just across midfield. The way things stand now, this is how the AFC East will look. New England would move to 6-2. The Jets at 4-4, Miami at 3-5, along with the Bills.
Of course, the defending champion of this division are the Miami Dolphins.
Oh, what a catch inside the 30 by Greg Camarillo, and that's likely to be the last play of this game.
Wow. That's a way to finish for Camarillo, but congrats to New England.
Our final score, New England 27, Miami 17.